Hi everyone. So I just wanted to do a follow along, not tutorial, but kind of just a follow along making mini album um, video. So I think it's going to be a little series, and so this is the stack that I'm using. It is the Out in the Wild stack, and it has a lot of guide pages. They're really cool though. They're not like boring pages, which is a good thing. And some of these are really cool that will be really good scrapbook pages. And but yeah, so basically how I did this is how I do most of my albums is I actually choose most of my albums, as you can tell, are 6 pages long. So what I do is I choose anywhere between 12 to 14 sheets of paper. And if you're thinking 14, you don't have to wonder much longer. It's because I use them for photo mats as well, and just different contrasts, different patterns. But anyways, so I think I chose 12 papers out of here, plus the pages that were like tags. Let me see if I can find it. So like these, I took out these papers so I could use them if I need to, and I did pre-cut some of them, not all the way obviously, because if I want to I'll just kind of fussy cut around it, but I did that with the tags that are in here too. So anyways, let's go ahead and start talking about the book. So the book that I used, instead of doing a whole pocket page, I'm just doing 6 single page album. It's a 6 single page album with flaps. So in the back it's going to be blank, but each page is going to have a flap. So I didn't want it to be too complicated, but it is going to be a guy album, and I don't want them to have to kind of fuss with all the interactive things. And so and usually if it's a guy album, I'll put the pictures in there for them. And so this album is 8.5 by 6 1/4. So I just took an 8.5 piece of paper and I scored it at 6 1/4. So that way, when I cut the paper from the album, I just have to cut it long ways, 6 inches, and I still have enough to make another mini album. And that saves you a lot of paper. And then basically, I did pre-cut some borders too, and these are just some green paper that my mother-in-law gave me, and I'm going to be doing that as a embellishment. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the other things that I pre-cut. I pre-worked on this album about I want to say 3 hours yesterday, cutting all these Cricut images because I wanted it to be really Cricut infused, if that makes sense. I just want a lot of Cricut images in there. And so here's some of the images, and I did cut out some titles to go with them. And the thing I love, I forgot to tell you, the cartridge I use is the Camping Critters. I love this cartridge because it has such easy pieces to put together, and they have the function that's the badge function, and you can cut out something like this where it's just really easy and simple and small. But I think like this only took 3 pieces of paper, and it was very easy to assemble. This again only, I want to say 4 different cuts, but so you'll see these once I start putting the album together. But this one I did cut a little longer because I think I'm going to cut it on both ends. But I just really wanted it to be kind of visible when I put it in the album. And I did use some of this gold sparkly paper that my mother-in-law gave me. I'm not sure who makes it, but she just gave me a small stack. And so I have more. I think I cut out, I want to say at least 20 to 24 images altogether. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I did pre-cut some of the paper that I'm using today too, and so I'm not a very methodical scrapbooker. I just kind of put stuff in the album and see what works for what I want. So I just kind of go through and see which page I feel like would be a good cover page. So I think something like this might stand out a lot in the cover. Yeah, so I think I want that as the first page, and probably this in the inside. And I think I'll do that because of the trees. They'll kind of bring that out. And so I think I will be making this for my nephew, who's going to be 15 this year. He just loves fishing and hunting, and so before I cut that, I want to double check, see. So yeah, these flaps end up being 4 3/4, so we're going to cut them at 4 1/2. Alright, and you can always save these to use them as banners or just some other decorations. And then I'm just going to glue this down. Almost done with this glue. It's lasted like 4 mini albums. But you want to try and get all the way to the edge. And so, a lot of people have been asking me to do these kinds of videos. It's, I was always scared because I don't know how to video edit. So I'm trying to do it in a way where you guys can follow along, but not get bored at the same time. But it always bums me out when I, don't scrapbook for a long time, because I don't know if this happens to you guys or not, but sometimes when I scrapbook, actually this happens most times, when I scrapbook, the inspiration will be there and then all of a sudden it's gone, and I have to work really fast to kind of just hurry up and use all that inspiration, because if I don't, then I know that I will regret it, because then I'm not using all the creative juices that are coming my way. So I'm just still trying to see what fits. And see, those two are fish papers. Oops, these two are fish papers, so I'm going to try and keep those together. Maybe, yeah, that looks like it'll be real nice there. Well, maybe it should be in the inside. Yeah. Sorry, this is how I think when I scrapbook. I just kind of do. And so, but yeah, like I said, my nephew is like a really big hunter and fisher, and he's like the best little thing ever, because he just he'll tell you everything you want to know about fish, and he knew it at a very young age too, which was always kind of funny to us, because I don't know anything about fish. I mean, I've been fishing before, but he knows the detail, what kind of fish, what kind of fish he's looking for in different ponds and lakes, and he just a hoot. And so let's go ahead and glue all this, and I always want to make sure that these are secure. I don't have very good lighting in my scrapbook room, especially because it's 8 o'clock in the morning and the sun isn't fully risen, or if it is, it's kind of hiding somewhere. So what are some of your guys' favorite techniques when making mini albums? I like mine simple and clean. I'm really envious of those people who can do those collage style, shabby chic kind of books, because I'm just not very good at it, and I always wanted to be good at it, and I tried, but I don't think my brain works that way. So I'm always envious of the people who can do that. I just can't seem to do it. Alright, so there we go. We got the second page, and as you can see, it's starting to come together. And another thing I like to do is I like to close the album every once in a while, and then also flip it this way to make sure I am not, there's not too many greens on this side and, too many tans on this side. I like to spread out the colors evenly. And so I think for this one, we might do this one inside. I think that's too much foil on one side. Yeah, I think that one will work. And then, nope, we use that on the last page. So maybe that one? Yeah, I think I'll do that because it kind of matches these badges. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this smaller. And see, this is kind of where I messed up because normally I choose the papers as I go along, but because I was trying to be ahead of the game, I went ahead and cut all of them the size of the album. So, but that's okay because when those mess ups happen, you can always use them on another album, and then you know what you want to use them for. Like some of those will be good for card candy. Like if you want to make a card for a guy, you can make those into card candies, or you can make embellishments for your next album. And so I would like to say I'm a very thrifty scrapper because I like to use things around the house or like things that, reuse things. I'm just not very good at throwing stuff away, I guess. So maybe, I think I like the paper better downward. So, okie dokie, so we got that. And I think in the insides of these flaps, I might just leave a white or cream paper for journaling. But let's go ahead and see. Okay, so we could probably use a green right here. So let's do fishing. And then maybe we can do that. Looks a little too busy for me, so maybe you know what, because I know for this page I want to do the guy that's fishing, so I'm gonna find him and see if it doesn't ruin it too much. Yeah, see, that's looks too busy, so I am gonna switch these papers around. Maybe should do that. Fish in the inside. Nope. You know what? I really do like. I like that one better. See, it's so hard for me to do follow-alongs because I feel like I'm boring you guys with choosing paper and whatnot. And so, there's my big mistake, is putting that paper there while I was... That's okay, it'll probably be covered up with the Cricut cut. Mistakes happen, we fix them, we move on. Alright. I love this song. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's Georgia by Ray Charles. It just has a really good soulful vibe in there. I love listening to this song, these types of songs when I'm scrapbooking because it just puts me in a, very calm mood, not too jumpy all the time. And so, let's cut that. I'm actually really excited to see how this turns out because, as you guys know, I'm not very good at doing guy albums. I love doing girl albums because if you know me, I'm a girly girl through and through. And so I'm just going to check the video real quick to see if it's still rolling. Yup. So we'll probably finish this album and then I'll start on the next video. So now let's use this busy page with that. Maybe that. And then maybe that. Maybe I don't want to use that paper. Maybe we'll use that. Or you know what? This star paper I cut out because of this this bunny. And see, I told you it's a little long, but I'm going to chop them off at the bottom, but I just wanted a bigger kind of view of the bunny. And then I'm probably going to put some stars or something up, or title up here. And so some of these things I did plan out well, but other things it's a little difficult. So that's too much black. Maybe this tree. You know what? I think this tree will work. So let's glue these down. And last night, in the midst of me scrapbooking, I lost the lid to this glue, but it still had quite a bit. So I thought it was going to dry out this morning, and it didn't. I was really happy. But I don't know if you can tell, but this paper has like a gloss on it for the stars. I thought that was really cool. And so, see, like on this end of the album, it's dark, light, dark, light. That's the kind of thing that I like. So, see, and then same here, there's light colors in between, and then you have the tree contrasting again. So it's coming together. It all comes together in the end, and I just go with the flow, I guess you could say. So I'm thinking the next album I use with this paper, I'm going to ink all the edges and tear them up. But I feel because the Cricut cuts are a lot cleaner, and I didn't want to ruin those. I wanted to keep the album cleaner as well. So, there we go. Alright, so let's see. I could probably use a black paper here now. So, this one. That one, I think that was a winner. Well, that section was a lot easier to figure out than the last one. And then I don't know if you could tell, but the gun has a gloss on it too. So we're almost done with the pages. And I was also going to round these corners, but I figured I didn't want to really fuss with that. I think it would have looked nice too, but maybe that's just me trying to get this album done so you guys can see the finished product. And also I am kind of excited to see the finished product because of how many Cricut cuts were used and Cricut images. Like I said, I love that cartridge. It's very, very cute. I have the To the Cabin, I think, that page or that Cricut cartridge, but I don't know, it doesn't have a lot of images in it, so I'm not a big fan of it. So let's do that fishing page at the end so we can bring in the green from the beginning back to the end. And so I hope you guys like the way this turns out. And, you know, if you guys end up making it or something similar, I would hope that you guys could share it with me on my Facebook page. I like to see people's projects, but they don't post them too much, which is okay, you know. It takes a while to post things, but I do love to see projects. So now we're going to go in with these green borders, and we're going to glue them to this side of the album. So I'm going to turn this over, make sure it's straight. And so I feel like doing this, I don't have to round the corners now because it does bring a little green and outdoorsy kind of feel to that. And so we'll go ahead and glue this again. And so I'm just going to slide it in there that way. And, you know, the negative pieces, I did use, I'll show you real quick the punch that I used. It was this Friskers Grassy Punch. And the negatives, you know, I actually do keep them for purposes, as in, like, if I am going to be adding grass blades down here, I don't have to cut more paper. I can just use some from the negative parts of the images. And so that's another thing to do. Always make sure that you're using everything, you know, don't throw stuff away if you could use it again. And sometimes, you know, I save stuff for a few days to make sure I can or cannot use it, because the way I see it is, you know, I pay for that paper, and sometimes the paper can be a little spendy, but I pay for it, might as well use it, might as well get your most money out of it. And so we're almost done adding these borders. Oh, my glue's almost running out, just in time for the next video. So there we go. So, oh, come on. I think it's gonna make it, guys. So I think this green kind of, it is a lot of green going on this page, but I also think it kind of breaks up the foil that's happening in both of these pages, which is a good thing. Because I noticed it was a little bit busy, but I did really like those two together. Come on. Okie dokie. There we go. Alright, so there we have our pages. You could already tell it's getting heavy with all the cardstock in there. Very clean, very flat. So I'm going to stop the video and then we'll get started on the next one.